So we have about 1 more minute. I am trying something a little different for this yin class, at least, to have some music on in the background, because in yin there's a lot of me sitting. So I wanted to provide, and not talking, so I wanted to provide you guys with a little bit more background noise, particularly when we're sitting in some of these poses. You guys can always comment and tell me if you can't hear me. I'm doing my best to speak above it, to project a little bit more than I probably normally would in a class. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started. It is 1 o'clock now. Welcome to this 60-minute all levels yin yoga class, aka also a yin yoga for athletes classes. All that really means is that I designed the flow of this yin yoga class to really benefit those of us that run, that cycle, and that do any other sort of cross-training activity. And with that, let's all go ahead and get started. Come to lying down on your back or in any other comfortable reclining position that feels good to you. I start every one of my yin yoga classes off with a very short guided meditation, a little bit of relaxation. So go ahead and meet me in any comfortable reclining position when you're ready. I'm going to go ahead and stay seated so I can guide you through the meditation, but you guys should go ahead, lie on your backs, maybe close your eyes, maybe soften your gaze. Just start to tune into your body. Checking in with how you're feeling today, this afternoon, early afternoon. Maybe if you're like me, you've had a busy day so far. Maybe not. And know that either is totally cool. And as you're lying here on your back, maybe start to tune into your breath. Just noticing its natural cadence, not changing anything. What is the natural rhythm of your breath? Is the pattern of your breath fast, slow? If you count the length of your inhales and the length of your exhales. Just noticing how long that natural cadence of your breath is. When's the last time you paid attention to it? Maybe beginning to scan the body. Maybe noticing any areas of tension that need to be released. Starting with the face. Taking a deep breath in. And just softening the face muscles. Letting the expression be neutral. Relax the jaw. Let the head and neck be heavy. Moving down. Find ease through the shoulders. Consciously softening them. Releasing the shoulders, and the tops of the arms, the biceps and triceps, letting them be soft, finding ease in the elbows, the forearms, the wrists, the palms, releasing the fingers, letting things be easy in the whole upper body. Softening the chest and the belly. Release the upper back, the shoulder blades, the lower back. Releasing the hip bones, the glutes. Let them soften. Release the quads, the hamstrings. Feel the knees relaxing down. The shins, your calves. Releasing the ankles, the tops and the bottoms of your feet, the toes. Let the whole body simply be heavy, finding a few moments of ease. As you sit in this easy mode, maybe you think of something that sparks joy in your life. It can be really simple. Maybe you have a favorite person, place. Maybe something special is happening for you today, for your family. I know my family, we're celebrating my cousin's birthday. Happy birthday, Kristen. Maybe you're just feeling really thankful for the people that are doing so much good out there. You know, all those pharmacists, healthcare workers, servicemen and women. Maybe you just feel joy and gratitude for them. Maybe you just did something really cool at home that you haven't done in a long time. Cooked, did art, hung out with your family. It could be anything that sparks joy in you. As we move today through these challenging deep stretches, know that you can always come back to that one thing that makes you smile. Slowly, maybe you start to wiggle fingers and toes, rolling wrists and ankles. Maybe you start to shake your head from side to side. Maybe reaching up and over for a nice full body stretch. And then staying on your back today, we're going to move through our breathing exercise on our backs. Any comfortable reclining position. I think for this, it's really lovely if you lie on your back, bend your knees, and plant the soles of your feet on the ground. Just like this. I'm going to turn a little bit sideways so you can see me a little bit better. We're going to move through our breathing exercise from here today. We're going to move through a 3-part breath. So to do that, I like to place one hand on my belly, one hand on my heart, so I can really focus on feeling the breath move through my body. So I'm going to demonstrate how this is going to work. On your inhale, you're going to fill up through the belly, the chest, and the shoulders. And as you exhale, release through the shoulders, the chest, and the belly. So what this does is it helps us learn to use our full lung to send oxygen through our body. So we'll take one neutral breath to start. Inhale, fill up. Exhale, sigh it out. Let's begin. Inhale, belly, chest, shoulders. Exhale, shoulders, chest, belly. 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 Let your breath return to normal. Just noticing how it feels to use the full lung, especially if you're an athlete that does a lot of cardio work. You might really notice a difference. Go ahead and reach up and over for a nice full body stretch. Rolling over onto your left side, the more restorative side of your body. To fetal position. Gently press up and over into a nice tall seat. Hi. So we'll go ahead and move into our first shape. Arguably, this is the hardest shape, especially if you're a runner. I actually really hate doing this shape, but it is super, super important. So, we're doing a toe stretch and a foot stretch. I'm going to turn sideways. I think everybody can see me better this way. So to get into the shape that I'm in right now, come to all fours. And from here, just play with tucking these toes under, like you can really grip your mat or the ground. Good. Now, once you have those toes tucked, all 10 of your toes, right? So you might need to like move your little toes if you have stubby little toes like I do. And from here, we simply play with starting to sit up and shifting our weight back. You will feel it in your feet. Now, you are in control. So you can shift your weight forward to take some edge off and shift your weight back even more to add more. We're going to be here for the shortest amount of time that we're in any of our yin shapes today. So once you find that challenging place that you need to be, start to tune into your breath. Maybe you close your eyes. I'll turn the music up a little bit. And you simply breathe. Knowing that this is challenging, it's supposed to activate this part of our body that we really don't stretch that much if you think about it. It does so much for us. I know it's super intense. I'm feeling it too. This is very unpleasant, but it doesn't hurt. It is uncomfortable. It is a deep stretch, but I'm not in pain. If you are in pain, ease off. Listen to your body. I like to think that in all of our yin shapes, we push ourselves to a position where we have to think about staying there, right? It requires mental energy. Halfway, you're almost there. Breathe. I know. You runners out there, you cyclists, I feel you. This is a tough one. It gets better from here, about 30 seconds left. Big breath in. Exhale, let it go. 2 more breaths. Exhale, let it go. Almost there. 1 more. Inhale. Exhale, let it go. Begin to shift the weight forward, planting the palms. Untuck those toes. Careful. We just did a lot of work. And from here, start to lower down through a seat. Lowering all the way down to your back. For puddle pose, Shavasana, that reclining comfortable position, we come here between each of our yin postures to enjoy what is known as the rebound. Also known as that awesome tingly warm feeling you might feel in between each shapes. That sensation is your connective tissue, your muscle fascia, moving back to its original spot in the body. Yin yoga targets our muscle fascia, helps stretch it out. In this fascia, this connective tissue in the body is super important. It's super cool science if you want to Google it. These deep stretches are so important for overall health and wellness. I'd be happy to share with you a really cool documentary about it. Motivates you maybe to do a little bit more yin yoga in addition to your other athletic endeavors. Noticing how the body feels, where you felt that stretch, how the feet feel now. Slowly start to wiggle fingers and toes, rolling wrists and ankles, reaching up and over for a nice full body stretch. And exhale, roll over onto your left side, that more restorative side of your body, finding fetal position. And then pressing up and over into a nice tall seat. Moving on to our next shape. So we're going to move into caterpillar pose. Now, this is a no props class. You totally do not need a prop to do this. You can actually just use your mat. But if you have a pillow handy, it might be nice to use. But I'm going to demonstrate this without props. So if you have a mat, go ahead, come to the back of your mat, and start to roll it up. Like a little, I don't know, present piece of paper, whatever you want to visualize, and roll it up about halfway. So for me, that's about here. Now from here, go ahead and hold it firm. Lift your booty up and on top of this little shelf that you've created for yourself. And extend the legs. Now you should feel nice and steady here. You might need to adjust yourself so that your sit bones are a little bit off the edge, but I could sit here for a pretty long time. Cool. So once you feel nice and secure here, and if you have that pillow, you can sit on a pillow instead, but I actually really like sitting on the edge of my mat. So from here, all we're simply going to do is release our hands down alongside us, drop our head down, so that your chin touches the top of your chest, and then begin to very gently lean forward just a little bit. Now, when we think about forward folding in yin versus a regular vinyasa class, we'd be really reaching for our toes, right? Our toes would be flexed towards us. Not in yin. I want these toes totally relaxed. I want your hands alongside your body, and I want you to just simply think about dropping the head and letting gravity pull you down. Now, another really nice option here is if you have that pillow, you can fiddle around with it to support your head a little bit. But I really want you to think and focus on releasing the head down. You're going to feel it all along your spine pretty intently, especially if you are someone that is sitting at a desk all week that works out a lot. It might be a strange sensation. It might be intense. That's okay, that's the point. But as we sit in the shape for a few minutes, you'll start to notice the body starts to open up. Tuning back into the breath. Are you holding your head up? Right? The chin should be touching the chest. And breathe. Let gravity do the work. The work for you is to simply release. And that can be a challenge for many of us. Maybe you listen to the music. Maybe you tune into your breath. Just noticing where you feel this the most. For me, it's in my spine, all the way from my head, all the way down my back. And remember, in any of these yin shapes, the challenge is to stay still and in it for the full time, but if you need to come up and out of the shape or modify, please, please, please do so. This should be challenging in a way, but not painful. For many of us, particularly intense athletes, this might be harder than some of your workouts because it's so different. Use it as a time to grow. About halfway done with this shape. Option to adjust if you need. Maybe you can walk those hands a little bit further forward and sink down a little bit more. Maybe you can adjust that pillow prop if you used it underneath your head. Maybe you simply retune into the body, scanning and seeing if there's anywhere else you can let go. Can you drop that head a little further, letting it sink down to the ground? Just breathing. And if you're wondering what music I'm listening to here, it's Tchaikovsky. I was trying to think of things that weren't copyrighted. This is way not copyrighted. Pretty old stuff, but I find it really relaxing. Almost there. About 3 long, deep breaths left. Big breath in, and exhale, let it go. Notice if you're holding the head up again, release it down. Bring the chin to the chest. Slowly start to move up and out of this shape. Lifting up and off of this little shelf you've created for yourself. Lowering the mat back down. And then lowering yourself all the way down onto the mat. And settling in for your puddle pose. That Shavasana shape. Start to scan the body to see how you feel. Maybe noticing any sensations in the spine, the neck, anywhere that feels really good. Maybe listening to the music. Maybe you hear the sounds of your house. 3 more long, deep breaths. Start to wiggle fingers and toes, rolling wrists and ankles. Maybe reaching up and over for a nice full body stretch. And when you're ready, rolling over onto your left side for fetal position. Gently pressing up and over to a nice tall seat. Moving on to our next shape. We're going to come onto our bellies. We have Sphinx or seal pose. So I'm going to demonstrate both. So Sphinx pose is the easier variation of the two. Simply prop yourself up onto your elbows just like I am, pressing the forearms and the palms into the mat. And from here, if you have that pillow, great. If you didn't, I don't have any props, so you're good here. So from here, first option, simply drop the head down. Second option, for a little more support for the head, you can prop yourself, your neck up like this. So those are your two options in Sphinx. Or if you want a deeper back bend or some compression in the back, which is our focus here, this actually helps with back pain. I know, shocker, but it does help. Take your palms, spread them wide. Begin to press into the palms to straighten up for full seal. Now, if you're taking full seal, I also want you to drop the head down. So you decide how much compression you need in the spine. I'm going to hang out in seal for a little bit, but you can always move between the 3 options I gave you. So once you decide where you need to be, start to settle in. Really resisting the urge to squeeze the glutes. It's a big temptation in this shape. Good. Settling in. Noticing how this is also a bit of a belly stretch. If you've been doing my HIIT workouts, that should feel really nice. Scanning the body for tension. Seeing if you can let it go. Knowing that the target area, the lower back, is where we should be feeling most of our sensation. Again, remember, you can move between all 3 shapes. Seal is starting to feel a little intense for me, so I'm coming down to my forearms. Dropping my head in, I'm going to hang out in Sphinx. Using your inhales to create space. Exhales to release a little further. Scanning the body for tension. Noticing if the face has tightened up. And can you release it? Can you let the expression be neutral? Maybe relax the jaw. Maybe start to think about that one thing that sparked joy for you. The things that bring you happiness. you can sink a little deeper, right? It's okay for this to look kind of sloppy. Let the body find ease. About 3 more breaths in this shape. Last one. Slowly, simply release all the way down onto your belly for puddle pose on your belly. Arms alongside your body, turning the cheek one way or the other. Noticing how that made you feel. Maybe noticing, taking note of any sensations in the lower back. Consciously trying to release anywhere else. Two more breaths. Slowly start to press up and back, right into a tall seat, maybe through a quick child's pose, or right into a tall seat as we move on to our next shape. So go ahead, take a look up here. I have lots of variations of this next shape. Everyone's body reacts a little differently to it, so please bear with me as I demonstrate all of them. If you know which one works for you from the get-go, because you do yin yoga or yoga in general a lot, please feel free to go into it, but I am going to take the time to break it down. So we have half shoelace pose or cat pulling its tail. We're going to do both sides. So to do this shape, first variation, we come to a nice tall seat, legs extended long, shift the weight to the left, sweep this right foot back behind you. Now, if this kind of setup is no good for you, bear with me, I got you, we have another variation. But if this is something you can do, stick with me. So, from this setup, we take our hands behind us, fingers facing out or in, whatever feels most natural to you. I think out feels most natural to me. So level 1, I'll turn sideways actually so you can kind of see my hands. So level 1, drop the head back and hang out here. The goal is to feel the stretch in this quad. So level 1 is here. Releasing the head back too. We really, really, really don't want to hold the head up. So head drops back. Level 2, drop down to your forearms. Way more intense stretch in the quad, clearly. And same thing here. Drop the head back. Feeling a stretch in the neck. Level 3, which I actually cannot demonstrate because I have way too tight of quads. You can lower all the way down onto your back, resting your head on the ground. So this is the variation number 1. Either 3 steps. Okay. Now, if you're someone that's looking at this and being like, Sandy, you're crazy, I can't do that. Go ahead and meet me on your belly. You are going to do cat pulling its tail. So for this, extend your arm out either in front, I like 45 degrees, bend this right knee, head rests on the ground, and reach back for the right top of the foot. And here you hang out. You're getting the same stretch in your quad as everyone else is getting in the other variation. Added bonus, for this, if you want, you can 1, 2, 3, rock yourself over, woo, for an additional shoulder stretch. Again, releasing the head down. So lots to play and do with this one. I'm gonna go ahead and do version 1, but you do you. And start to settle in. Tuning back into the breath, especially for runners and cyclers, this can be really intense. Scanning the body to release tension anywhere but the target area, right? We want the head, the neck, and the shoulders to be relaxed. We want the face to be relaxed. We even want the feet to be relaxed, right? Breathe. We're here for a few minutes. So if you're wondering why we hold these shapes for so long in yin, there's a few reasons. First and foremost, this class targets the muscle fascia, that connective tissue I was talking about. And science shows that to help release tension in the fascia, that connective tissue, you have to hold stretches for at least 120 seconds. We do it a little bit longer in yin for some of the mental health benefits. That practice of being okay with calm is something that many of us have a hard time with. So this is both a physical and a mental practice. So that's why we hold things for so long. There is a method, a scientific reason behind it. Noticing if your body is starting to open up. I know mine is, so I'm going to play with going all the way down onto my back. But if you feel cool just where you are, please stay there. You should always be trying to push your body to that area of uncomfortable, right? We call it the edge. The area that you push your body to that you have to think about. In your regular athletic endeavors, it might mean pushing for that extra rep, moving faster. But in yin, it might simply be sitting in discomfort. Know that there's value in that. Tuning back into the breath. About one more minute on this side. Slowly, with great care, start to move out of this shape. So if you're on your back like me, gently start to lift yourself up and over, moving slowly. If you're on your belly, stay on your belly and simply release the leg long. My friends that are like me, sit up, release that one leg. And we're just gonna move right into the other side. So if you're on your belly, go ahead, move on to your other side by bending the other knee, extending the opposite arm, either 45 or 90, and settling in. If you're sitting up like me, shift the weight to the other side, bend the other knee, start to move into your variations. Again, staying up on the palms, dropping the head back. Maybe you lower down to the forearms. That's where I will be. Ooh, this is tight today. Or onto your back. And start to settle in. You're propped up on your forearms or your palms, drop the head back. Remembering to find ease everywhere in the body except the target area. So that means releasing the facial muscles, releasing the feet, the ankles. Continually scanning the body for tension. And when you notice an area that feels sticky or tight, see if you can let it go. See if you can consciously release. Notice if tension's creeped back, or notice if you're starting to open up. If you need to adjust the body to move into this new space that your body has created. I can lower down to my back, maybe. We'll see. Settling in. About a minute and a half left in this shape on this side. Using that time to focus on something. Maybe it's your body, the sensations in it. Maybe it's your breath. Maybe you go back to that thing that sparks joy for you. Right? It can be really helpful to think about those types of things in our life during moments of discomfort. Maybe that's the reason why you came to the mat today. Good work. One more minute. Scanning the body again, seeing if you can let go of any tension. Notice if the face is tensing. And if it is, see if you can relax the brow. Maybe you release your tongue off of the roof of your mouth. Maybe you soften the jaw. Slowly start to move up and out of this shape. If you're on your belly, you can simply release your legs long, moving into puddle pose on your belly or on your back. If you're like me, go ahead and push up into a seated position. Release the leg that's bent long in front of you. And start to lower all the way down onto your back for puddle pose. Settling in just for a few moments to notice how the body feels after that pretty intense quad stretch. Noticing where you feel it the most right now. Do you feel any warm sensations? A heaviness? Maybe a slight tingliness? And if you do, take note. And if you don't, that's cool too. Slowly start to wiggle fingers and toes, rolling wrists and ankles, and reach up and over for a nice full body stretch. And when you're ready, roll over onto your right side, finding fetal position. And then press up and over into a nice tall shape. Moving on to our next shape, we have puppy pose. So if you know puppy pose, go ahead and go for it. I'm gonna break it down. So for puppy pose, we come onto all fours. I like to move to the back of my mat to make sure I have enough room. And from here, we simply play with walking the palms forward, spreading the fingers wide, and then dropping the head. Notice, if you take a quick peek up here, that when I'm in puppy pose, my hips are right above my knees, right? I'm not shifted back like child's pose, and I'm not shifted up like I am for all fours. Hips over knees, chest sinks down, palms walk forward. Now from here, we have options. You can drop the forehead down, or if you're really bendy, which I am not, and your chin reaches the mat, you can drop your chin down and look forward. And here you stay. Another really nice option, if you have the flexibility to put your elbows down, you can bend at your elbows, take your hands to prayer behind your head. I'm not going to do that because it's a really, really too intense stretch for me. So I'm just going to hang out right here. You should be feeling this in the shoulder area. Letting the lower body relax. And breathe. If this is really intense for you, like it is for me, I encourage you to turn into your breath. Using your inhales to create space, and your exhales to sink down. Remembering your breath is your biggest tool when you feel discomfort. You can use it to help you move through those sticky sensations. up at all. Or if you feel more tension. But one more minute in this shape. Last 2 breaths. Slowly start to move up and out of the shape, back onto all 4s. And then lower all the way down onto your belly for puddle pose. On your belly, turning your cheek to one side, arms alongside your body. And just notice any sensations in the body after that really intense stretch for our upper body. Puppy pose is super nice if you spend all day in front of a desk. It's a really nice shoulder opener. Notice if a heaviness is what you feel. For me, this is a very grounding sensation after a deep stretch like puppy pose. Maybe you feel differently. Slowly bend the knees. Windshield wiper the legs back and forth. And then find stillness. Gently press up back into a nice tall seat. Finding your way there. Moving into our final shape before our Shavasana. So our last shape, if you took Yin class the other day with me, you know it. It is legs up, find the surface in your house. So for me, I have a door to my right, a door behind me. Find a wall, something that you can stick your legs up against. Even a bed would work. So to get into this shape, you scoot yourself really close to your vertical surface of choice, and then start to kick your legs up as you turn and stick them up. Now once you're like this, you might need to shimmy a little closer, and from here you settle in. You can place your arms alongside your body. You can lift them up and back. Whatever feels the most comfortable to you. This is just a really nice supported inversion, a really good way to end class before our final resting shape. Inversions are a really good way to help re-energize the body. Maybe you close your eyes, or at least soften your gaze. So from here, you have options. You can stay right here through our final Shavasana resting posture together. This is usually one of my favorite ways to end a class. Or if you'd like to take traditional Shavasana, all the way down, reclining on your back, please feel free to go there now. I'm going to stay right here because, like I said, it's one of my favorite ways. But you do you. And just for a few minutes together, we will enjoy the benefits of our practice. Find some stillness and ease. And just be. And know that Shavasana is hard for a lot of people. To sit and do nothing. And if that's you, know that I have been there many times. And that the reason why we call yoga a practice, we say it's a yin yoga practice, is because it's not always supposed to be easy. So maybe this is your practice for today. Practice sitting in your Shavasana, doing nothing. Just for a few minutes. Very slowly, start to wiggle fingers and toes, rolling wrists and ankles. If your legs are up the wall, draw the knees into the chest. Give yourself a squeeze. If you're on your back, just reach up and over for a nice full body stretch. And when you're ready, rock over onto your favorite side. And then press yourself up and over into a nice tall seat, eyes closed, hands at your heart. We'll end class with one breath. Inhale, fill up. Exhale, let it go. Bring your hands to your forehead, third eye and seat of your intuition, and bow forward, sealing your practice. Thank you guys so much for all of your time, all of your energy, for spending this 60 minutes on doing something really, really good for you and your body, especially if you're an intense athlete. This is so crucial to your body's overall recovery and performance. Again, my name is Sandy. I'm teaching every day while we are all in quarantine. I'm teaching these classes for free, so please spread the word, share, share, share. I am accepting donations. 100% of the donations don't go to me. They go 50% to the Humane Rescue Alliance, our local animal shelter here in DC, and 50% to the Yoga Heights Teacher Fund. I keep messing that up. The Teacher Fund, which supports teachers who have lost a lot of their income from teaching full-time due to coronavirus. So thank you again for tuning in. My name is Sandy. It was a pleasure to teach you, and have a good